Witam Państwa, Marcin Piasecki, Rzecz o Biznesie, a w naszym studio gość, pan Mike Doustdar, wiceprezes firmy farmaceutycznej Novo Nordisk do spraw operacji międzynarodowych. Good afternoon and thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
What is the role of clinical trials for the development of innovative economy?
Clinical trial is the core of development and bringing safe medicine to the patients. Is what pharmaceuticals do in order to prove that the research they've done for many years actually works in large number of humans, and only after that we're able then to prove with the documentation to the regulatory body that this is safe to be used. So in many ways, without clinical trials, there will never be a prescription medicine in the markets.
So, what is this sector in Poland? How important for your company are the clinical trials in Poland?
Very. We have been doing clinical trials here actually for many, many years, and we have been successfully doing that so here. We do clinical activities in many dozens of markets, but I would say that Poland has stood up because not only it's efficient, speedy, but also the quality of the work has been really, really high. I've been extremely impressed by the results of the clinical activities that we have been doing in Poland for so many years that now we recently, 2-3 months ago, made a decision to make Poland the clinical hub for Novo Nordisk. What that actually means is that as we go forward, we will triple the number of patients that are being treated in clinical activities in Poland, resulting in 15% of all trials in the world being conducted here in Poland. We will close down a number of other centers and have Poland as the core center serving 16 countries because of that quality and the speed and the efficiency I spoke about. So Poland is very strategic.
But our country is rather classified as a moderate innovator.
Well, I think actually based on our experience in clinical activity, I would put Poland above many, many other developed markets. As I mentioned, your scientific knowledge and your capabilities of developing drugs within the areas that our company is infamous for, so diabetes and obesity, has been first in class, and I think that has to do something with the quality of your scientist. I think you're right that maybe when you're dealing with research, then Poland's name is not often listed as on the top, but in clinical development, I think you're one of the best.
Do you collaborate with Polish universities or other academics?
Of course, in doing activities, we often deal with large hospitals, university hospitals, and a lot of academics. We have to have these clinical activities in a way that the local, of course, medical society in Poland is heavily involved, and that is the good collaborations we've had so far.
And currently, what are you working on? Some important findings?
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things actually, which Poland is also involved in. Our company has for the last 100 years or so been involved in diabetes. Over the last decade, we started researching obesity, which is something closely linked to diabetes. Right now we are in clinical activities in Poland for our future obesity drugs, which are phenomenal, drugs that can reduce weight by around 15%. That is very close to bariatric surgery. So very, very large unmet need. Hopefully we will be able to solve part of the problem with good medications. But we're also bringing some oral peptides. You might know that peptides and proteins, because of their molecular size being large, are injected to the body.
Yeah.
They're effective, but they're injected. As compared to chemicals that you swallow, but are not as effective. For the first time, our company has been able to produce peptides and proteins that are as effective as an injectable, but orally administered. So this so-called oral GLP-1 class of molecules are being tested also in Poland now, and I'm extremely optimistic that we will be able to bring that as the first company into the market.
Yes, and what about access to these innovations? Are they available in Poland?
And that's actually a very good question, because one of the complaints that I often get speaking to Polish key opinion leaders and doctors is that quite often we make clinical trials in this market, but then afterwards the products are not accessed by the masses, and it's something that I would very much like to be part of the solution together with the Polish government in finding ways where we can have a win-win situation where the innovative medicines that companies like ours, and for that matter other companies, actually make them to the market. Because you're right, today we have a bit of an imbalance, high level of clinical activity, but unfortunately not all innovative medicines have been reimbursed and found their way to the market, which is not good for the patients. So we need to solve that together with the government.
Your company has special action, as I know, cities changing diabetes. What does it mean?
It's a fantastic program. One of the major causes of diabetes is urbanization. People moving fast to the cities, having jobs that are behind desk rather than in the farm, having access to fast food has not helped neither obesity or type 2 diabetes. We need to make our cities healthier to live with. As a result, our company some years ago started an initiation with the local municipalities of various different cities to make cities healthier. We started in Mexico City, one of the largest megacities in the world, moved from there to Houston, to Rome, to four or five different cities in China, Copenhagen, of course, where our company is starting from, and now Warsaw as the city number 22 in the world. Very, very exciting, where we come and actually work together with various different municipality and government officials, trying to see what would make Warsaw healthier. I give you some examples from the other cities. In Houston, we got together with faith organizations, so the church actually, and try and see, can the church play a role in educating their constituents on what diabetes is and what obesity is, and how we can actually avoid and possibly prevent the expansion of it. In Mexico City, when you go to a restaurant nowadays, you don't find a salt shaker anymore. One of the biggest problems in Mexico City was that people would take the salt from the table, pour it into their food, and that's of course unhealthy. Today, when you go, many of these restaurants, you don't find salt. You have to ask for it. And by having to ask for it, half the people don't ask, so the salt consumption goes down. In Rome, we together with the government decided to create paths for walking and advertise that on books. So if you want to walk for 3-4 kilometers in a healthy environment, safe environment, these are the different locations nicely marked for walking. So people start to walk a little bit more. So a number of different initiatives, and we'll see, of course, what that means for Warsaw by talking to the local municipalities and then hopefully be part of that solution.
And when this action can start in Warsaw?
Hopefully second half of this year. So planning are underway, dialogues and discussions, but to the best of my knowledge, this is something that we will inaugurate actually in 2019.
Dziękuję bardzo za rozmowę. Moim gościem był pan Mike Doustdar, wiceprezes Novo Nordisk do spraw operacji międzynarodowych.